Hello and welcome back to another 6 scale figure review. I am your host, still, that Mania. And today, I have finally decided to try to upgrade to the Season 2 Mandalorian figure. So the thing about this guy is it came out right after the time when I bought my first one. And just like, if you're a Transformers fan, you know how the War for Cybertron and the Earthrise Optimus happened. They sold the War for Cybertron. It was really, really good. And everyone's like, oh, this is the best Optimus ever. And then they released the even better version, Earthrise, immediately after everyone bought it. So then you already had it. So you had to buy the next one, or else you would miss out on the even better one. But they already got your money. So this is, but instead of it being like $40, now they got your $500 because you upgraded. So I didn't want to upgrade because I really wanted to hold out. But my buddy had gotten it, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, man, I really should, because he looks really good. And so I have. So this is going to be a bit more comparison-y of a video than it is a deep dive into everything. I will show you everything, but I'm going to do a lot more comparing than usual. So here's the box, normal Star Wars box. It's just, this is the deluxe version. It comes with all the deluxe stuff. There's him with his sculpt. Back of the box has the regular words. Front of the box has, blah, blah, blah. But obviously, you came here to see the Mandalorian, not the words. So let's get him out of the box and take a look if he was worth the cost. So I have to start by saying, my God, is he a lot shinier than the other version. The other version's a nice, like, gunmetal gray shiny. This guy is just straight chrome. I'm a little worried about that flaking over time, but I'm hoping it lasts because it looks really good. I loved the original way, the one, how it looked to the original way. The gunmetal gray spoke to me, but it felt a little, now that I'm looking at it, toyish in the way it comes across. It looks like something that the toy would have, which I hate saying that because I love this guy. But when you get an upgrade, it is hard to, it's like a new car. It's hard to say the nice things about the old car when the new car has newfangled things. But let's get him off of the spinning turntable of doom here and take a closer look at all the stuff that makes him a little bit more deluxe. God, this guy just shines, doesn't he? It's just, one of those things where you're like, wow, the original version really was, they're not dull, but more matte. So we have the rifle you saw previously. He's got a flame piece, which is always fun. He's got whistling birds. Comes with a vibro knife, which has some really nice detailing on it for a small accessory. He's got the little bird attachment. If I can get it out. Flashlight attachment for his helmet. An attachment for the dark saber, which I believe just makes it so it's the unlit version of the dark saber. Bomb. Don't think I could say that on YouTube, but I just did. The little attachment piece so you can attach the spear onto his back. His very, very, I can't grab it, my hands are too slippery, very, very shiny jetpack. Wow, that is beautiful. And it just, it's a magnet, so it just sticks right to his back. We do also have, I should have been more prepared, guys. I'm never prepared for you guys, and I don't know why. We do have, unfortunately, another Grogu. He will stay in the bag as a punishment for being another Grogu in my collection. I don't want another Grogu. We also have, for some reason, the guy from The Last of Us. I'm not quite sure why he came with it. It's a little weird. Bag for the swoop bike that I don't have. The actual lit dark saber, which looks really nice. And then we have Morgan Elsbeth's Beskar staff, which is plastic. Missed opportunity for that to be die-cast metal. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. And if you're a suck-up like me and bought the deluxe version, you also get all of this deluxe stuff. So we have Boba Fett's helmet and his jetpack and some bags and a swoop bike handle, which all are held on his back for when he's holding them. I don't care for these accessories. I will never use them. I've got enough Boba Fett's and Boba Fett jetpack accessories. So this will just stay in the box for the rest of time. The only reason I bought the deluxe, and this is going to sound weird, is because it was cheaper at the time. So let's bring over Shiny Mando. Let's bring myself over to Shiny Mando so we can get a bit more light on this guy. And for starters, yeesh, it is hot in here, and it is because of him. I'm not going to go too much into detail here because, again, I do want to do a deeper comparison of the two of them next to each other. So we're going to do a quick rundown here. Helmet is beautiful chrome all the way around. You can see the nice dirt patterns all on the back. I swear to God, it's not my fingerprints. Coming down. Again, the helmet will come off, and I will show you that in a second as well. But coming down, you can see the shoulder pads. Again, also match that same chrome. It's got the little guy there that I can't remember the name of. It's like the Rhinehorn or something. I can't remember it. It's bothering me. That was also a second accessory for Mando that you could swap out, but I never actually did. But this one just comes straight with it, which is fun overall. You can see me here. Look at me. My messed up. This is like when I was trying to take pictures of Phasma, and she's all chromy. The band is pretty much the same, except for I think it's a little bit more mute of a brown, as opposed to the other one's a lot more vibrant brown. This one's a bit more mute as a color. The cape does have wiring in it this time, unlike the previous one, which is just a drape cape, which is fine as well, but the material is also different. The drape cape feels more like a velvet blanket, whereas this one feels more like softer. It's like a soft, and it feels nice. This crotch piece has a bit more color on it now. You can see there's a bit more grime and dirt than the previous version. There's a bomb here, which I forgot to put the other bomb with it. Again, I don't know if YouTube will allow me to say that, but I'm going to anyway. The bracers are a lovely, lovely chrome as well. You can see the thigh pad is fully chromed out this time, as opposed to the previous version, which has a half chrome, half brown thigh pad. And coming down, the boots are pretty much the same, except for I think a little less weathering. So if you come all the way back up, and if I can remember where I put that random sculpt of the guy from The Last of Us, ignore all of that. I have made a mess in my room trying to get these videos. So you can just pop all of that off, and in it goes. Hold on. And in it goes. And in it goes. There we go. First try, baby. So the sculpt, he looks sad. Guys, he looks really sad. It makes me feel a little bad. He can hold the helmet if I could, but I don't want to break the helmet trying to pull his neck peg out, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it in here. But you can separate that. It's just mine's not coming out for whatever reason. But you can see here the sculpt does look really good. Your future Reed Richards looks fantastic. I don't see many people using this sculpt on here. I believe it is swap outable on the Transport Trooper as well. If mine wasn't tucked into the back right now, I would check for you. But he is tucked into the back, unfortunately. So you'll just have to take my word for it. So, let's bring out the other Mando and do a bit more of a deep dive comparison. I've been looking forward to this. So obviously we have the newer version on the left and the season 1 version on the right. And right away you can tell, even just in helmet size, I think the helmet size is slightly smaller and a little bit more, like, less buckety. The season 1 has I think a bit bigger, which makes it look a little bit more loose. I'm not 100%, or if it's just because of the color of each material. But you can see here, it definitely feels bigger, just ever so slightly. It might be angle, but it definitely looks like this one comes a bit more down as well. Obviously not a bad helmet because it is the season 1 version, which should be chrome as well. But I love him. He's got a special place in my heart. But before we go further, I would love to compare these weapons here. Season 1 gun, Season 2 gun. See, this one's it's got more gravity to it. You can see it's a bit more maroonish, like a maroonish brown, as opposed to this one, which is a little bit less. There's definitely a difference here in the paint applications. The handle is also a bit more brown. We also have a season 1 gun and season 2 gun, which look fairly similar for the most part, except for the end, which the gold goes a little bit further on the season 1 one than the season 2 one. But for the most part, they look pretty similar. Maybe a little bit darker on the paint on the stock as well. But like I said earlier, the sash on the band here is a little bit more vibrantly brown as opposed to this one, which is a bit more of like a muted, like leathery color. I love the way both of them look. The cape here and the cape here, again, are different. This one's more of like a velvety. It's a bit more messy on this one right now for whatever reason. Probably because I switched the sculpt. We'll look at the capes when I flip them around. Hello me. You can see all the chrome and the dirt color here. There's a little bit of dirtying around the edge here, but it's not nearly as much as the season 2 version. The gauntlets obviously are drastically different here because they're a lot more chromed out, fixing the hands so they're a little bit more. You can see they're pretty much the same for the most part, except for the fact that they are chromed. You can also see a little bit more a design on the suit here on the new one as opposed to the old one. It kind of all gets lost into the mesh there as opposed to this one, which has a bit more definition to it. You can see the brown a bit better on that side there. Poor guy. The bomb holster, or his little detonite charge holster, is a lot cleaner on the season 1 one as opposed to the season 2 one, which looks like he's gotten some grossness into it. It's a lot more weathered on the season 2 version. And season 1, as you can see here, it's a lot more weathered all the way around as opposed to this, which is very clean. It feels like it shouldn't be that clean. You can see there's like dirtying on the pants here. It's a little bit here as well, but not nearly as much. The fingers are both the same shades of yellow, which is fine. The hands, for the most part, also look pretty similar, except for these are a little bit more dirty, which you should come to expect from the season 2 version. The thigh pads here, as stated, one is brown and silver, and one is now all just chrome, which looks a lot better because it's more uniform. It doesn't have the Durasteel on it anymore. And it just makes it look a little bit more like I said, uniform. So you will also notice on the Season 2 version, he has the little Boba Fett knee missile thing, as opposed to the Season 1 version, which does not. So he completely gets a new piece of armor altogether on his knee. And again, you can see the suit here. Pants are brown. This one's more of like a gray, a dirtyish gray. The boots look pretty similar. It looks thinner on this one, though, than this one. This one looks like a thicker boot. But they look like they're using pretty much the same same thing going on. It's just a little thinner and smaller. And the boots altogether, as you can see, are pretty dirty, but there's not much difference in dirt between them. Bringing it back up here. Are you having fun yet? We can go to the back real quick, where you can see the cape material is a lot different. This one's drastically different than this one. This one's frayed at the bottom. This one is straight up. And the back here, you can see pretty similar dense things going on here on the bottom. This one's a lot more vibrant on the dent than that one. But you can see they're pretty similar back-wise. You never really see the back anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But you can see drape cape versus lightly wired cape. Lightly wired cape would win if it was a little bit more wired. So, I bet you're sick of me talking about the Mandalorian, so why don't we just talk about articulation? I thought about doing this part as a comparison as well with articulation, but I feel like that would take a really long time. So we're just going to do a life ending 360 degrees, up that far and down that far. It's pretty good down. Arm goes up that far, up that far, back that far. So about the same amount of movement. However, it does bend a lot more. It's probably no crunch back or forth due to the armor. It's a pretty good spread though. Up that far, back none, knee bends all the way back, and some good articulation at the ankles. So let's take Mr. Mando here, Mr. Mando 2.0, and let's get to the end of the video where we decide whether he's worth the upgrade and what to do with your old Mando. So whether you've got the Season 1 or the Season 2 Mandalorian, there's one thing we can all agree on: he definitely looks good doing what he's doing. There's a lot to love about the Season 2 one compared to the Season 1 one. Season 1 has a special place in my heart because it is my first version of the Mandalorian. It comes with the pram, which was a great accessory that I still use. It comes with, it comes with a lot of stuff, and I'm happy with it. I'm just very happy with this guy. Now, if you're like me and you're in a situation where you go, now what do I do with my Season 1 Mandalorian? Well, in about a year's time, Jazz Inc. is most likely going to be making Mandalorian Starfighter from the Book of Boba Fett in Season 3. And if there's one thing that Starfighter is definitely going to need, it's a pilot and a Grogu. And where can we get an extra pilot and a Grogu? Mandalorian Season 1 Mando. Now, it might not be for everybody, but if they do the Mandalorian Starfighter, he is going to look fantastic in it. Let me tell you. And that's just one way to do something. He could, fit into anything, really. Just some options for you, so you don't just, forget to love him. Because these guys, they need love too. If you have the Season 1 figure, let me know. If you upgraded to the Season 2 figure, let me know. If you didn't upgrade to the Season 2 because you have the Season 1 figure, has this video changed your mind at all? These are the questions I have to ask by law. My lawyer is telling me. He's right off to the side, off camera. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe, because subscribing helps out a lot, especially when you subscribe to me, because that helps me a lot, because it makes me go, yippee! And I love a good yippee. Don't we all? And if you subscribe, or just enjoy the video, feel free to like, because that also really helps me out. Helps Mr. YouTube like me just that little bit better, because YouTube doesn't like me. Probably won't like this video because I said the word bomb like 5 times. It's probably going to flag me. If you guys see this video and it's in your suggested, let me know that I didn't get flagged, because that would be awesome. Also, always feel free to comment, because you know I will always get back to you, because I am a comment responder. Doesn't matter where I am. I could be at work. I could be in 6 feet under, and I will make sure to respond to you. And as always, I've been me, and you've been you. And thank you for watching this 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time where we review something maybe new. And we'll see you then.